Again, just like I said, this is a subspecialty of radiology. We do diagnostic and treatment as well, therapeutic. Uh, what we usually do is minimally invasive procedures or surgery. So of course, when you do a minimally invasive procedure or intervention, it's less trauma and patient recover faster. So to become an interventional radiologist, you need to complete your training in radiology for 4 years, and then again you go for subspecialty for 2 years for IR, for peripheral vascular intervention. If you want to go into neurointervention, then additional 2 to 3 years for onco intervention, 2 to 3 years. So depending what institution you want to train. So to become an interventional radiologist, basically when you're a radiologist, you're in depth with all of this imaging. What we usually do, we utilize are the ultrasound, CT scan, as well as cath lab. Right? This is a cath lab. So the materials that we usually utilize is not a common surgical instrument. So what we usually utilize are the microcatheter, drainage catheter, balloon catheters, central venous catheters. So this is how it looks like. This is a very old picture. This is in Davao Doctors Hospital. So in Davao City, we do have 3 cath labs. So one SPMC, Davao Doctors, and Lanang Premier. So what are the procedures that we usually do? We do angiography. This is an invasive procedure wherein we cannulate the common femoral artery and thread a catheter going to the aorta. Then from there, you can go from the brain going to the peripheral. So this is a cerebral angiogram where you can see a aneurysm. And this is a mesenteric GI angiogram, and this is a renal angiogram where a selective renal angiography was done, and then you can see a severe renal stenosis. So what interventions that we usually do? Angioplasty. We try to open up vessels that are stenosed or occluded. So like for example, this patient who have severe renal artery stenosis and non-responsive with antihypertensive drugs, so the cause of their hypertension because of the renal stenosis, then patients are referred to us and we do intervention. We dilate and stent the renal artery. So this is how it looks like. You have a typical or a peripheral vascular occlusive disease. You have a occluded vessel because of arteriovenous plaque. Then we balloon it and then put stent to keep it open. It's just like doing things in coronaries. We don't do coronaries that are just invasive alone. So brain and many things. So this is my patient, an elderly Chinese who's diabetic, and then non-bleeding wound, the toe. They opted to cut the DKA or cut above the knee amputation, but we tried to salvage the limb. So we ballooned the entire superficial femoral artery. So technically speaking, after angioplasty, the superficial femoral artery treated and dilated. So this patient did have ACA or DKA, so it's just they cut the toe. So at least this patient survived without having leg. So endovascular aortic stent graft treatment for aortic AAA, aortic stent graft. I used to do this when I was in training, but nowadays because of overlapping subspecialty, the vascular surgeon or the cardiovascular basic, they also do this. So, but anyway, just to show you, you have an option that to be opened up if you do have AAA. So this is how it looks like. So I just try to show you a video. Rather than you get opened up and then do aneurysmectomy. So here, aortic aneurysm at the abdomen. So what we do is just try to cannulate the common femoral artery. Usually the vascular surgeon would try to open up the common femoral artery for us, and then just put in a guide wire into the aorta and place the delivery catheter, and then after that you just deploy the aortic graft. So you don't get open up anymore. But anyways, procedure like this a bit prohibitive because the cost will be roughly around $1 million or two. What other non-vascular intervention that we usually do? We do percutaneous transhepatic cystectomy for patients who are severely septic because of acute cholangitis, or patients who have ascending cholangitis, or patients who have concomitant cardiac problems that this patient cannot be operated on. So what we do transhepatic drainage of the gallbladder. So we do this under imaging guidance, ultrasound, and fluoroscopy. Here is a case of a pelvic abscess, wherein this patient had an operation of a dermoid cyst. This is a young female who had an operation of dermoid cyst. Apparently, after 2 weeks, patient came back because of pelvic pain. So what we did a CT scan, and we saw a pelvic abscess. So the obstetrician referred this patient to us. So we did drainage of the pelvic abscess, parasacral approach, in prone position under CT scan guidance. So embolization. What is embolization? If we open up vessels for stenosis or occluded vessels to save the limb, or in patients who develop mesenteric acute ischemia, or whatever part of the body that they have severe stenosis and thrombosis, we also occlude vessels. We call embolization. So for cases like hypersplenism, aneurysm, arteriovenous malformation, and for young females who don't like to be operated on, who have uterine myoma, option of uterine fibroid embolization. I did 3 here. Unfortunately, they don't refer patients to uterine fibroid because that's bread and butter. We do get patients, their relatives, and doctors. So these are the embolic agents. These are the embolic agents that we use to block the vessel. This is a coil, detachable coil, PBA, polyvinyl alcohol, and embosphere, and if we try just to temporize and save to keep the vessel open, we use a gel foam. So this is a case of young patient I did here in our doctors. Patient had an operation, 5-year-old boy, and then apparently after operation, after 6 months, patient came back of GI bleeding still. So this patient was referred, so I did a GI angiogram, and you can see there's a aneurysm of the left gastric artery. So after doing an angiogram, you can see that's the aneurysm. So selectively, I place in a microcatheter and pack it with cords. So post-embolization, those are the coils, so you don't see the aneurysm anymore. So patient ran home and never came back again, so most likely didn't have any occurrence of bleeding. And one of the most exciting part about interventional radiology is doing it also in the block. So instead that you get a craniectomy and then traditionally your aneurysm gets hit on. So what we do is we get the buster. So of course you have to diagnose first. You do a TTA, so this is DRT or reconstructed TTA. You have a large aneurysm of the internal carotid artery. Again, this is also my case. A patient who have a wide neck aneurysm at the ophthalmic level of the internal carotid artery. So because of wide neck, I have to put a stent and then coil the aneurysm. So traditionally, they open you up and then lift the aneurysm. But nowadays, you just put in a catheter coming from the groin, coming from your common femoral artery, and thread it going to the brain. And a microcatheter is placed into the aneurysm and pumped slowly with cord. To show you this, how it is done under fluoroscopy in cath lab. So this is not my case. So then, just to give you an idea how it is done. So you can see there's a large aneurysm there. At the bifurcation of the internal carotid artery. This is the anterior cerebral and then this is the middle cerebral. So they place in a catheter going to the aneurysm and slowly push forward. So that's how you do it. Slowly tuck it forward until you completely occlude the sock. The only problem is that the fit will cost around 120,000 pesos. So a procedure like this can cost you $1 million or more. Another procedure we do is thrombolysis. As I mentioned, a patient who developed pulmonary embolism was due to patients who have a sudden embolus in the main pulmonary artery. That's very dangerous. Patients can die suddenly. So what we do is place a catheter going to the pulmonary artery and 2 drips representing or urofenic. And nowadays we do use RTPA. So mechanical thrombolysis, we do have angiojet putting the catheter and it sucks the thrombus in the vessel. So So this is a type of immersive device being developed 10 years back, but nowadays it's not anymore available because they have newer device. So we use this for the neural intervention. So now we're very much aggressive in treating acute stroke patients with large vessel occlusion. Because if a patient develops a large vessel occlusion for acute stroke, that's very devastating, and patient will really suffer that. Not only the patient, it's the entire family. So how do you treat acute stroke? So mostly the neuroradiologist will determine whether it's really a stroke or not, right? Whether it's a bleed or ischemic stroke and then the thrombus. So if it's small, then you can do RTPA thrombolysis systemically. But for large vessel occlusion, it's not effective. So what we do is try to get the large thrombus by mechanical thrombectomy. So what are the things that you should know? It's very crucial because time is brain. So for every minute we lose hundreds of millions of neurons. So the public should know if this patient do have a drooping pain or asymmetrical pain or numbness of the arm, weakening of the arm, or slurring of speech, then this patient should be brought immediately to the hospital and determine whether this is really a acute stroke. So time is great. So this is how we manage the patient. Once the patient comes into the emergency room, a point person will recognize whether it is really acute stroke or just an injury. So if this patient is suspected of having a acute stroke, large vessel occlusion, the patient goes right away to the imaging study. We do CT scan and see whether this patient will have infarct or acute stroke symptoms. So what we try to look at the CT scan, the 4 Ps. The parenchyma pipes assess whether it's a large vessel occlusion, and perfusion, we do perfusion study, and penumbra. What is penumbra? The salvageable portion of the brain. It is ischemic, and the degree of the area is usually the necrotic area or the dead portion. But if it's more than 40% or 60%, we don't do intervention. When we do intervention, it's very crucial. The gold standard is around 16 hours. Okay? So you have to do intervention within 16 hours. So that's why it's very crucial that you know, oh, this is stroke. Go right away and try to be diagnosed with the degree of this stroke. Because after 18 hours or 24 hours, there's a chance, even if you revascularize it, there's a high chance of it leading to perfusion bleed. So this is what you see in a regular CT scan. We just do a plain CT scan and we grade the patient according to Albert's aspect score. So 1 to 10, the higher the score, the better the chance of patient can recover from doing thrombectomy. So we do also, for a higher center, they do have MRI, then they can do also brain diffusion study. You can calculate the penumbra and the salvageable area. So this is how it is done. But apparently, it's no joke. This costs more than 1 year for procedure. So you have to shell out 1 MRI already within 16 hours. So this is how it is. So you do an angiogram and see whether this is a large vessel occlusion. So after that, if that's the thrombus, then we turn it we try to bypass it with the catheter and guide wire. So once the occlusion is bypassed by the guide wire, we place it in the delivery catheter. And then we put the delivery stent, thrombectomy stent. So after placing the thrombectomy stent, if the thrombus gets stuck into the stent, and then you retrieve it.
Buhi ada. Ang great yun. Wow.
So you try to include the vascular flow to the internal carotid with occlusion balloon, and then after retrieving the thrombus, then you take So this is our actual case. You can see there's this patient who have aneurysm at the internal carotid, but apparently after injection, the internal carotid and middle cerebral artery are occluded because of a thrombus in the carotid sheath. So we did a mechanical thrombectomy, retrieval of the thrombus. So after retrieving the thrombus, so injecting again, you can see now the arterial and middle cerebral artery.
Ada before.
So here, the patient didn't have any deficit.
Nagbaktas na rin.
So, you know carotico-cavernous fistula, right? Carotico-cavernous fistula, this is common. You do have a direct and indirect type. Here, now it's becoming common, carotico-cavernous fistula, because of motorcycle accident. When the patient do have a fracture at the base of the skull, it lacerates the cavernous sinus, and it do have a direct communication with the carotid artery. So what happened? So from the high pressure flow from the carotid artery, the valve goes to your cavernous sinus. So from the collaterals of your cavernous sinus, the ophthalmic vein would dilate. So that's why these patients do develop raccoon eye, so proptosis. So what do? You request for an CT scan first, or preferably CTA to document whether this patient do have carotico cavernous fistula. So after documenting this, so we do intervention. So here's a CT scan. You can see a direct communication between the internal cavity and cavernous sinus. So with doing an angiogram, you can see there's this direct communication. You can see already cavernous sinus crossing to the opposite side. And this is the ophthalmic vein, the dilated ophthalmic vein. So what we did, we put in this is a flow diverter stent as well as coil procedure. So we place in a catheter and flow diverter towards the internal carotid artery and block the cavernous sinus with coils. And then after that, we glue it with a coil, and then we place onyx. It's a type of glue to occlude the cavernous sinus. And now you can see there's a revascularization of the middle cerebral and anterior cerebral artery. So if this is the carotid, internal carotid artery and the cavernous sinus, so there's a direct communication between the two vessels. So high pressure will go to the cavernous sinus and it will be transferred to the ophthalmic, superior ophthalmic vein. So that's why we develop raccoon eye. So what we do is put a flow diverter first, or not even before. We just put it in a catheter there and try to block this with coil. So this flow diverter looks like a stent. The mesh is very thin, and we put it into the internal carotid artery to block the fistula. So this is how it would look like. They have dropped it. So let's say this is the stent, and then gel technique, we put in the microcatheter, and then pack it with coil, and then glue as well. So we're able to preserve the internal carotid. So a procedure like this will cost you around 2, 3. But then again, we don't take the internal carotid artery, and the problem with canonical cavernous fistula, once the vision is already compromised, even if you treat the canonical cavernous fistula, the patient are lost to gain their vision. So it's very important to treat this patient before they lose their vision. Okay? So this is another case. So there's you can see the cavernous sinus there. So what other common intervention that we do biopsy, CT scan guided. You can see a lung biopsy under CT scan guidance, and spinal vertebral biopsy, and breast biopsy. Chemoembolization. Chemoembolization, we deliver it selectively regional treatment of mostly of hepatic tumors. So transarterial chemoembolization. We try to cannulate the feeder of the tumor. We all know the hepatoma is predominantly supplied by hepatic artery. Even if you include the hepatic artery, the liver will still survive because you have a dual supply, right? So around 80 to 70% of the liver blood supply is supplied by the portal vein. So, and tumors are mainly and predominantly supplied by hepatic artery. So we selectively cannulate here the hepatic artery, subsegmental, and then inject anti-cancer drug and then occlude the vessel that supplies it. So another treatment option, we do tumor ablation. In short, we burn the tumor. So by using radiofrequency, microwave ablation, or freon ablation. What's available here is the radiofrequency and microwave ablation. And traditionally we do alcohol ablation, but because of we have newer machine and better ablation margin, we use RFA microwave. So this is how it is done. So this is the generator, and these are the needles that we usually use. So it looks different types, it looks like an antenna, or sometimes dead straight. So after determining under CT scan and ultrasound, we target the lesion, the liver tumor, and then put it in the tumor. So you burn the tumor. So the tip of the needle will produce it. So it burns and leaves the tumor. It's just like doing a surgical resection. So in vitro, like white egg, to show you, when you place the probe and then heat it up, so it becomes hard-boiled. So what are intervention? We do, difficult prostate placement. We get referrals from the urologist. Although the urologist also do this. So this prostate. IBC filters. So IBC filters. So when do you use IBC filters?
Renal turbo.
DVTs, right? Patient do have contraindication for anticoagulopathy. So what we do, we don't want this patient to develop pulmonary embolism. Just like what I said, I have a young patient driving from Boston here. So what we have to do is patient develop a DVT, I have to place an IBC filter and put a catheter to the pulmonary artery and thrombolize the thrombus in the pulmonary artery. And then after that, nowadays you have retrievable IBC filter. So after 30 days, you can retrieve the IBC filter. This is how it looks like. So you place it in the interior vena cava. You can do this within 15 minutes. After accessing the interior vena cava from your common femoral vein, so we do genogram. So once you ascertain the level of your catheter below the renal vein, then you put in your IBC filter. So you push the IBC filter. The IBC filter is already placed in the delivery catheter. So there, it's self-expanding. So you just leave it there. So it looks like a basket. So once the thrombus at the DVT at the left gets dislodged, so at least it will catch the thrombus in the IBC. In the inferior vena cava, it will not go to the pulmonary artery. Yeah, intervention, I mentioned already to you, a percutaneous cystoscopy. Another intervention what we do is percutaneous transhepatic biliary transfusion for patients who do have plunging CA, pancreatic CA, that this patient can be operated on with field ERCP. What we do, we access the biliary ducts transhepatically and then put a drainage catheter. If we can bypass the occlusion, then it would be best, and put in a catheter from the intrahepatic to the common bile duct, and then do, but if it is really completely occluded, then we just place the tip of the catheter there, and then the bile drains out. Tips. What are the implications of tips? erotic hemorrhoid, patient will have non-responsive ascites, the patient will have variceal leaf. So, tips, transfiguring hepatic portosystemic shunt. So to decrease the portal venous pressure, to relieve the portal venous hypertension, we do access the hepatic vein and then puncture the portal vein within the liver. And then after accessing the portal vein, you try to dilate it with balloon and put a stent. So there will be a shunt now from the portal vein going to the hepatic vein. So you decrease the pressure in the portal systemic circulation. So at least you will relieve this patient from portal systemic hypertension, decrease the possible chances of bleeding in the sphageal varices, and you can control as well the ascites. But most of these patients are really terminal, so they do develop hepatorenal syndrome. So this is a palliative treatment. Okay. For females who do have ugly varices, so rather than getting operated on the base sweeping, so another option that you can have is laser treatment of your varices or microwave ablation. You can do microwave ablation of your varices. So this traditionally how it is done. So you get admitted to the hospital, the vascular surgeon will slit your superficial femoral vein. They would like drain it. So in EVLT or microwave ablation, it is an outpatient procedure. It is less invasive. We access the superficial femoral vein by ultrasound or fluoroscopic guidance. So right after the procedure, you go home. You go back to your normal activity. So we can do it locally without general anesthesia. So that's good as compared with the open surgery, right? So this is how it is done. So of course, you try to diagnose incompetent valves for your deep veins. So we try to localize the superficial femoral vein by ultrasound. So this is one of the pioneers doing EFULT. So you puncture the superficial femoral vein by another ultrasound, and then you place in your guide wire toward the superficial femoral vein, and then through the sheath you place your laser probe. So once the position of your catheter is ascertained already, then you burn the superficial femoral vein. So after burning the superficial femoral vein, then this patient, or you slowly withdraw the laser, and then that's it. Get it to the vein. So that's how it's done. It's outpatient. So for female, it's common for patients, young patients. They do develop uterine fibroid. If this patient still do have plans to have babies, then we can at least save the uterus rather than undergoing hysterectomy. So this is how it is done. So we selectively cannulate the uterine artery and shower it with PDA or hemisphere. So we include the healing better on the uterine myoma, and this myoma will hyalinize and then shrink. Okay? So that's it. Do you have any questions?